Hey guys, well, we're going to take a look at prisons in Finland. Now, apparently they live the high life in the prisons in Finland, so we're going to take a quick look and judge for ourselves, I suppose. Yeah, let's get into it.
This man is serving a life sentence for murder.
I'm sorry, I'm a little body conscious, as you can see. I've gained a few pounds.
A dip in the frozen lake behind the prison is part of his regular workout routine.
The first thing you notice, there's no guards. No one's standing there with rifles or anything on him. I suppose where's he going to go, but as you can see, he's pretty well adapted to the cold.
No problem, it's okay. Okay, your turn.
Welcome to life in one of Finland's open prisons. There are no cell blocks here, just dormitories. Inmates come and go in their own cars. When Matti isn't at the nearby university campus, he's in his dorm room, studying for a career in tech.
Some entrepreneurship books, marketing books, user experience, all kinds of digital and IT studies.
And we have this kind of normality principle that prisoners should be treated equally, even though they are prisoners, but they should.
I agree that prisoners should be treated equally to a certain extent, as in human rights, treated with respect. But if they're a murderer or they've done something to a child or a woman, there's a certain line, I think. And living in an open prison when you've committed such a crime, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Like, they come and go in their own cars.
Have access to same services and rights as other citizens.
In recent years, Finland has been named the happiest and safest country in the world. Citizens here enjoy generous public benefits, universal healthcare, subsidised daycare for children, and free college tuition. Promotional films like this, produced by Finland's Criminal Sanctions Agency, document how prisoners are eased back into society, with work opportunities and help from counsellors. And the incarceration rate here is one of the lowest in Europe, a quarter of what it was in 1950. In Finland, only 1 in 3 former convicts ends up back in prison. Compare that to the United States, where 2 out of 3 get locked up again within 2 years of.
Is that more because in the US they commit more crimes, or is it because their parole, their parole is so strict? Like, you got to do this, you got to check in at this time. Is that why they're reoffending? Is it more parole violations rather than actually committing a crime? I know parole violation is classed as a crime, but yeah, I don't know. I get the fact that, prisoners, when they are released, they need to be prepared for release, but come on, there's got to be a line you draw in the sand. I mean, giving them that much freedom.
Release. A 2018 bill included sentencing reforms meant to reduce what is referred to as recidivism, but they only apply to inmates in federal custody. Just 10% of the 2.3 million people incarcerated in the US. Critics say the 2018 reforms are only a small first step and fall far short of the kind of meaningful change Finland is so proud of. The scale, of course, is different. Today there are fewer than 3,000 in the Finnish prison system. The number of people behind bars in the US is equal to half of Finland's total population. A reimagining of what prison looks like here started nearly 70 years ago, when this Scandinavian nation began building one of the most humane systems in the world. In some of the latest steps, Finland's Criminal Sanctions Agency is investing heavily in technology training.
The first topic is what is AI, then the second topic, problem solving with AI.
And building a state-of-the-art smart prison for women. And even testing VR to provide an escape from the drab walls and fluorescent lighting of Turku, Finland's highest security closed prison. Mika, who is 10 years into a 15-year sentence, is walking through a 3D forest.
Kamala ottaa nuo lasit pois tiedäksä palata tähän todellisuuteen taas.
He appreciates the chance to interact with VR technology and learn the basics of working with computers.
Että sanotaan, lisään vielä tämän verran, että tämmöisiä vankeja, ketä on välillä käynyt vapaana ja tullut takaisin, niin on sanonut ihan suoraan, että ei siellä pärjää, niin kuin, että siellä on niin paljon erilaista tämä kaikki niin kuin tämmöiset, että kaikki on niin paljon tietokoneistettua.
Yeah, that's something I was going to say. Like, you see, I've watched a lot of prison documentaries about prisons in the US, and there's one called Hard Time. It is 3 series of it, I think. And that's something, they go to prison for 20, 30 years and they come out and the whole world is different. I mean, you think about the changes that have happened in the last 10 years. Now imagine tripling that or even quadrupling that and then coming out onto the streets and having to deal with that every single day. So I think there should be a bit of more of a preparation before the release date. But where do you say, okay, this is more of a holiday camp than it is a prison? So I mean, you're obviously in there for a reason. You're not just in there for selling jelly babies to the kids at school or to other people in your neighborhood. You know, you've obviously committed a crime that's put you there. So I don't know, it's a tough one.
Olisi hyvä saada sitä oppia.
We try to educate the prisoners to use digital services in a meaningful way so that it would really help them to rehabilitate, that help them to take care of themselves and take care of their daily affairs and the kind of things, the kind of skills that you need when you reintegrate back to society.
Now Finland is investing in the infrastructure to support that readjustment. A €34 million prison that many hope will set the standard for the future. No bars, glass windows, an internet connection in every room, and small touches meant for comfort.
This is our specialty is divan. Yes.
When it opens in this fall, the brand new facility in Hämeenlinna is expected to be Europe's most high-tech women's prison. But just across the road, a reminder of the past. The old facility, built in 1972, once housed both men and women. It shut down in 2019 after years of disrepair, mould, and other reasons.
This was before toilet.
Now I keep my lunch in it.
And where did they empty it?
I take this and put there. The smell was terrible.
And just a few minutes' drive away, a relic built in the 19th century and modelled on the American style of prison that is still widely in use today. Cell blocks arranged in a radial floor plan, prisoners living in solitary confinement. This one is a museum now, preserved to show just how hard prison life here used to be. For Matti, the road to reform has led him to a career that he would never have dreamed of before. He connected with Reactor, a digital agency that designs online education courses. When they heard he was participating in this story, they invited him to give some feedback on the program.
I'm eager to hear, what did you think about the first course? What was your general impression about it?
It was shown quite simply what is AI, what isn't AI. So that was really good, and kind of like show that it's not about magic.
Seeing him in this meeting, it's easy to forget that Matti is still serving out his sentence for murder. In that time, he hopes to complete a university degree and start a business.
One way to get kind of like employed is, of course, self-employment. So, and a lot of prisoners have already the entrepreneurial mindset.
Based on Matti's recommendations, Reactor is planning to add an entrepreneurship course to the prison curriculum.
It's insane. He's a prisoner. He's committed murder, and he's able to laugh and joke and study and further his career and hopefully further his life and build up, whereas the person he committed the crime against is no longer here. So I don't know. They obviously, the specialists, and they know a lot more than I do. So I don't know if that works, or if, in my opinion though, I think that's too little punishment for the crime that you've committed. I mean, think about it. Just imagine he had committed that crime against one of your loved ones. Would you be so comfortable with the fact knowing he can drive in and out of his prison and cruise around the city and you go to meetings like this? I don't know. To me, it's not a punishment, but
That's like
what do I
enforced
know?
my trust in also like this Finnish prison system, where like giving chances to put people like you, like it's awesome.
After the meeting, Matti heads back to Louka prison. But he is
Not a
excited
prison.
for the future.
At the beginning of my sentence, I thought that this is there can only be negative things in being in prison, that basically life is over. But I think you should give people a chance. That's the most important thing.
I don't know how I feel about that. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. He speaks about giving people a chance. I don't know what the circumstance of his crime was or how it happened, but where was the chance for the person he committed that horrible act to? So, I don't know. I really don't know how I feel about that. It's not something... I'm not an expert in the subject by any stretch of the imagination, but I know for a fact that if someone was to hurt or murder a family member or someone close to me, I sure as hell wouldn't be happy with them swanning it around the city and able to go on little cold plunges and cruise in and out of prison every day. I wouldn't be happy about it, and put the victim first sometimes. But anyway, that's enough of that. I'm not going to get all political and that jazz with you. Have a great day, guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button down below. It means the world to me, and you'll help me grow the channel even more. Have a great day. Peace.